You know that smell. You open the closet, or you walk down into the basement, or you come back to a room that's been shut up a while, and there it is. That damp, heavy, musty smell. The air feels thick. The walls feel a little wet to the touch. Your clothes in that closet come out smelling sour. And if you let it go too long, you start seeing it, that black spotting creeping into the corners. So you go buy a machine, a dehumidifier, $100, $200, humming away in the corner, running up your light bill. And you've got to remember to pour the water out of it every day. Now let me tell you what my grandmother did, and I'm going to tell you right now, up front, no making you wait. She set out a bowl, a simple bowl with about $4 worth of one thing in it. And that bowl quietly pulled the damp right out of the air. No machine, no electricity, no light bill. The thing in that bowl is calcium chloride. Folks call it damp salt. You set it in the room and it draws the wet out of the air and collects it as water down in the bottom. That's the whole trick. My name is Thelma Carter. I'm 82 years old, and now that you know the what, let me give you the rest. Because there's more to keeping a house dry than one bowl. Damp isn't just unpleasant, it's costly. It warps your wood and ruins your clothes. And it breeds the mold that gets into your walls and your chest, both. Folks spend a fortune fighting it the hard way. Now where does this come from? Down south, where I came up, damp was a way of life. That heavy, wet air sitting in the house all summer. We didn't have machines, and we surely didn't have the money for one. So we learned the air, we learned what pulls the wet out. Some folks kept a bowl of lime or a lump of charcoal or that damp salt tucked back in the closet. It wasn't fancy, it was paying attention. Everything I'm about to give you came up out of that. Let me count it down. Number 6. Start with that bowl I told you about. Calcium chloride. The damp salt. You put it in a tub or a bowl, set it in the damp closet, the bathroom, the basement corner. In a few days, you'll see water gathered in the bottom that used to be in your air. A few dollars, no power, no noise. Number 5, charcoal. Plain charcoal, the kind for your grill, no lighter fluid added. Set it out in a bowl or an old coffee can with holes punched in the lid. Charcoal drinks up damp and it drinks up smell at the same time. Tuck it in the musty closet under the sink. Change it out every few weeks. It is about the cheapest thing you can do. Number 4. Now the free part. Air and sun, the two things that have been drying out houses since the beginning of time. A closed-up damp room stays damp, so on a dry day you throw those windows open and let the air move through. And anything you can carry out, the cushions, the quilts, you set them out in the sun for an afternoon. The sun doesn't just dry, it kills the mildew. Number 3, find where the water's coming in, because a bowl can only do so much if the damp keeps pouring in. Look for the slow leak under the sink, the pipe that sweats, the gutter dumping rainwater against the house. You don't always need a plumber. Half the time it's a washer, a bead of caulk, a downspout you can move yourself. Stop the water coming in. Number 2, now here's the honest part. The part those folks selling you dehumidifies forever will never say. I'd rather you trust me than impress you. That damp salt in the bowl does not last forever. As it pulls the water out of the air, it dissolves itself. So every month or two, you refill it. And one more, a bowl is for damp. If you've got real mold spreading up a wall, that's a water problem behind it. You fix the leak first. Number 1. And this is the one underneath all the rest. The machine isn't the answer, and it never was. My grandmother kept a dry house with a bowl, a window, and attention. Knowing her own house well enough to feel where the damp gathered and answer it before it took hold. That's the real secret, not a thing you plug in, a thing you know. They sold us machines for a problem a bowl and a habit had already solved. A woman who can keep her own house dry with $4 and good sense owes nobody a machine. There's no money in a bowl of damp salt and an open window, so the knowing got quiet. It stopped passing down. But it didn't die. It was waiting on somebody to say it plain. So here's what I want from you. Go set out a bowl of that damp salt in your worst, mustiest spot. Open the house up and let the sun at your closets. Do that and watch a room you'd half given up on come back dry and sweet for a few dollars and no machine humming in the corner. You never needed it. Now you tell me down below, what did your people do to keep the damp and the musty out? I read every last one and I learned from you too. And next time I'm going to show you how those same grandmothers kept a whole house smelling fresh. No sprays, no plug-ins, the old way. Now you know what I know. Don't you let it stop with you. You carry it on. I'm Thelma Carter, and I'll be right here.